What is an HTTP method? An HTTP method is a way of telling a web server what action you want to perform on its resource, like a web page, file, data. Think of it's an instruction for the server. Now, when you open a website, your browser sends a request to the server using one of these methods. The server then responds accordingly. In easy words, it's an instruction your browser sends to the server about the what action to perform. Now, some of the common HTTP methods and how they work. Now, GET. The purpose of GET is to retrieve data from the server. For example, opening a web page or downloading an image. It works. Now, how it works? You ask the server for some information and it sends it back. In the post method, the purpose of post method is to send data to the server, usually to create something new. For example, submitting a form or creating a new account. Uh, Now, how it works? You send a data like your name or email to the server and it stores or processes it. In the put method, it is used to update data on the server and for example exchanging your profile into a web page. Now how it works, you send updated information and the server replace the old data with the new one. Now the delete method, the purpose of the delete method is to remove data from the server. For example, deleting a post or a file or any type of data. Now how it works, you tell the server to remove a specific resource. Now patch method, the purpose of the patch method is to partially update data. For example, exchanging just email address without touching other information. Now head method, the purpose of the head method is to get headers only metadata from the server without the body. For example, checking it if an file exists before downloading it. Now, how HTTP method work together. If you are inclined, sends a request with an HTTP method, that server reads your request and perform the action. Then the server sends a response back with the data or the status. For example, you are an you type an www.google.com or an example.com, get an request, server sends the web page, you fill a contact information, then post request, the server restores your information and respond with thank you. Now how status code works. If you're the client and sends a request to the server using an HTTP method like get, post, etc., the server processes your request, then the server sends back a response with status code like 200, 500, etc., and the status message like okay, not found, or the optional data like HTML or file context. For example, you visit www.com and server respond 200 okay, means the page loads. And for example, you visit an www.google.com or missing page. The server responds 404 not found, means the page doesn't exist. Now, what are the types of HTTP status code? Sta- Status code are divided into five groups based on their first digit. Like The first one is X1XX means it is between the 100 to 199, and it's an informational means the server received the request and it processing it. For example, 100 continue. The server is ready for the request of the your request. The server is ready for the resent your request. For example, 2xx success means it's between 200 to 299 means the request was successful. For example, 200 okay, everything worked fine. 201 created means the new resource was created successfully, like after post. And 204 no content means the request worked but no data is sent back. 300xx redirection, it's between 300 to 399 means you need to go somewhere else to complete the request. For example, 301 moved permanently, the page has moved to the new URL. 302 found means the temporary redirect to the another page. 4 and the next is 4xx client error, it's between 400 to 499 means there is a problem with your request. For example, 400 bad request means the server cannot understand your request. 401 is unauthorized means you need to log in. 403 is forbidden, you need you don't have permission. And 404 means not found means the page or the resource doesn't exist. The next one is 5xx server error, it's between 500 to 599 means the request cannot is correct but the server failed to process it. For example, 500 internal server error means the server has a problem. And 502 bad gateway means the server received on invalid response from another server. 503 server unavailable means the server is overloaded or down for maintenance. Now there are some of the tips. 2xx is a good and everything is fine. 4xx is you did something wrong, and 5xx means the server didn't something wrong. Now, if we summarize this table, the code range of 1xx means it's informational. For example, 100 continues, and if the code is 2xx mean it is success, and for example 200 okay, and if the code is 3xx means it's redirection. For example, 301 moved. If the code range is 4xx client error, for example 404 not found, and if the code range is 5xx means the server error.